Hello, welcome to Work Hard, Dream Harder. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Tia, and we're just two best friends waffling about life and trying to survive until we're 30.
You know what it is.
Right, no. Hi guys, welcome back to Work Hard, Dream Harder. We're on the month of adulting. Let's go. Sarah says the word banger, I will cry. No.
It's gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen.
Stop trying to make banger happen. It's not cool.
Ow, I feel attacked.
Damn right, it should be.
So sometimes we were talking about coming of age movies, and sometimes you have
in our last episode.
Yeah. And I was thinking like the expectations versus realities in adulting, basically having those responsibilities, right? And I feel like it's a lie. You're never gonna get your shit together, even though you're old and wise. Say like when you see some 30-year-olds still trying to figure out shit. So how you meant to do that in your 20s?
I'm just dumbfounded by all of these movies that have been produced by adults, which say that by your early 20s you need to have everything figured out and know what you want. Who in their early 20s has everything figured out? Please show me this person, because they are a miracle. They are a marvel to the universe.
I think for me, I'm not experiencing the adult world yet, but when I did freelance, I just do my self-assessment. I was just like, to me, that was the most scariest BS ever. Like, I was just there with Tia, like, having a mental breakdown. And then once I did it, I was like, that was the most easiest thing. I'm like, nobody prepares you for those little things. When you first moved out, there was things that you had no clue about.
Oh, yeah. God. I mean, I remember when I was first moving out on my own, and I think the first place I moved into, it was like all bills included, so you had to pay like one bill to the landlord and that was it, everything was included. And because I was like a student at the time, there was like no council tax or anything like that. So it was relatively easy in the grand scheme of things. And then the first time I moved out into like a house where all the bills were separate, the amount of like things you have to pay for is overwhelming. Like, you've got your contents insurance, your council tax, your gas, your electric, your water, your Wi-Fi, like broadband, like everything. It's crazy. You don't know what you can and cannot do. You don't know what your expectations are. And the upkeep of a house. Like, I didn't know until like 6 months ago how to clean the washing machine filter. Like, I didn't even know it was a thing. Like, I had no idea. I just kind of didn't really think about it because I was never shown. And the person who showed me how to do it was like, you don't know how to do that. Well, no, I didn't even know it existed. Like, if I didn't know it existed, how would I know to look into it? Like, there's a lot of things you just don't get taught. And I think schools and parents should do a better job at like educating kids on everything.
The amount of things I've seen on TikTok of these older people who are like, here's things that you might not know that I've only learned, and I've been 30 for quite a long time, and then I love them passing on their wisdom.
I mean, sometimes they teach me, to be honest.
Yeah, and I feel like uni is the best way to experience that, which I never got to do.
Kind of, but uni
because it's
still sugarcoats everything for you, though.
Yeah, oh my god. I think as well, maybe we're bitter because of COVID, but still, that it's like you'll find friends for your whole life, and it's like that kind of mentality. The friends you make at uni will last. Well, it kind of done with us, but it's like
we only finished uni like 4 years ago.
Yeah, so we don't know when people have kids and get married, move out, and we're quite lucky that the people we vibe with are in Nottinghamshire, like,
yeah,
except me, but
we're all relatively close to each other, aren't we?
So that's always a bonus. And I think as well, what I don't really understand is that how people have the idea like, I don't know if it's an Asian thing, but like you're meant to meet your husband at uni type of mentality, right? And I was like, yeah, nope, I didn't do that.
I would not imagine marrying anyone from our uni course, to be honest with you.
Wow, they weren't Muslims, so that defeats my point.
Even minus that, no thank you.
And I think as well, like we were talking about 13 going on 30. I think we were 30.
Oh yeah, that's a good film.
That's a good movie.
Good film.
Because if you don't know the premise, what's her face? I don't remember her name.
I can't remember. It's been a long time since I watched it.
So basically, a girl who's 13 kind of gets transported into her adult life.
Yeah.
And you see her being amazed. Oh, I'm working at a fashion magazine. Oh, I'm dating this hot guy. And when she gets stuck there, she slowly realizes all the hardship that goes to being an adult. She was a bitch. Basically, her character was a mean girl. And she turned out the guy she liked in high school.
Yeah.
There's a scene at the end where he's a taxi driver. He was like the jock that she was obsessed with, and then her true friend, which she realized she neglected when she was an adult, turned out to be her true friend. And you see all these things that I love the way that she just thought she'd be living her life, and then all these things happen, and then she realizes that if the path that she went on as a kid turned out to be like that, it would have been a good life. And I thought it was quite refreshing to see that perspective, because you see this naive 13-year-old being like, oh, I'm working at this magazine, and then you realize when she started put the thing together, she was like the snake. And then she's like, oh, I am one of the mean girls that I hated in primary or secondary, American school.
Yeah, high school, middle school, I don't really know which one's which, to be honest.
And it kind of, then it's like, it put that, oh, shit's hard.
Oh god, yeah. Being an adult is great for the freedom. Like,
yeah, you see that she goes crazy with it.
I mean, it's like little things. Like, I saw this, I think it was like a TikTok or a reel or something like that. And it's this girl in like the zoo, and she's gone to like the butterfly exhibit. And the caption was something like, when I was younger, we wouldn't go to the butterfly exhibit because you got to pay £2 for it. And I nearly stopped myself from going because I had to pay. But what the hell? I'm an adult with my own money. Let's go. And it's like stuff like that. And like, you see the comments of people being like, oh yeah, like, what's stopping you from just buying a birthday cake and eating it? There is nothing stopping you.
And then there's the other side of TikTok is like, no, I've got adult money. I'm going to indulge you in the childlike things, like spend 200 quid on a Lego set, indulge that.
Honestly,
and I'm just
my family and I, so my little brother's 13 and he wanted to go to the Minecraft experience for his birthday. And it was my little brother and a bunch of adults. We all enjoyed it. Like, we're a bunch of adults at the bloody Minecraft experience running around, like, killing zombies. It was great. Like, adulting is kind of great because you have this freedom to do what you want to an extent. Stuff that you wouldn't have been allowed to as a kid. But the caveat for that is you now have adult responsibilities that you have to do.
And I think when you're a kid, you're like, I can't wait to be an adult. And then you turn into adult, you're like, fuck's sake, life's so much easier as a kid.
Life was easier as a kid, but I hated being a kid. I was just like an anxious mess. I'm happier now.
I think when you live in your 20s and then 30s, you know who you are. You know what you stand for. You know what you like, what you don't like, who you like what you look for in a spouse, a partner or whatever, and you know where your values are. So if you found a partner, you know what you stand for, so it's more likely you can choose it wisely. But when you're young, you tend to be a sheep, or you mold into the surroundings you are. And you see a lot of people who are not from a diverse area, like with multicultural people, and they're like, huh, these people exist? Like, I was just in a little suburb type of thing. And I think it opens your mind, because you can explore more, the confines of where your parents are. And I think I'm yet to explore that freedom, because you're worried at this moment in time, I don't have enough money to go out to that crazy holiday, because I don't earn that much. But yet again, I have the freedom to choose what I want to do.
Yeah.
Once you realise that, there was this another film I watched. I think it was called I forgot what it was called. Booksmart. And I think I was saying, these two American girls who realised that they were those, like, working hard to get the degree, well, not the degree, the qualifications, and then they go to this jock, and he was like, oh, I'm going to Harvard or something, and he was like, they were like bamboozled that this guy gets C's, so, and they realized that they not wasted their life, but they wasted their experience chasing academic, and they forgot to live as a kid. And it's them going on the rager, I think. I forgot, I watched it ages ago. But that's a good perspective, that the stuff you stress about. I was reading somewhere, there was this person who got so stressed about their GCSEs, and they committed suicide. Because they got
I remember you saying
so much pressure. And you know what? Their shit got remarked. But it was too late then. And then my attitude was like, oh, I'm dyslexic, I'm good at creative stuff, I don't give a shit about the other ways, I'll find a way. But that pressure when you were so young was
it's awful. I remember, so I did like really well on my mock exams. It was like a bunch of A's and stuff like that. And then when it came to my actual exams, I was really, really ill. Really ill. I was struggling to stay awake and all that sort of stuff. And I ended it with mostly B's and a couple of A's and I think one C. And I got the talk from my parents, and it was, why aren't they all A's? But does it matter?
No.
Oh my God, right? And then literally a year later, when we're at college, they're teaching us to make a CV, and everyone's putting all their grades front and centre, and he just turns around and goes, sod them, screw them, no one's looking at them. And you're like, what?
True.
Because you get told by all your teachers, everyone around you, that GCSEs are the most important thing of your life. And employers don't give two hoots. They don't care. As long as you pass maths and English, they genuinely don't care. Like, stop putting pressure on yourself.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm living for the vibes.
Like, honestly, my little brother's going to be going through his GCSEs in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And my parents started to give him the whole, you need to do good with your grades and all that. And I just keep saying to him, have you tried? Yeah, right, mate. Don't worry about what grade you get, as long as you put F in.
I think that's what I hated about being dyslexic. It was the amount of pressure was like, what's your plan B? What's your plan B? And I was like, I just want to do something creative. So I took a level 2, level 3 BTEC degree. And I think you find a way if you care about it. And I think it's like, that's what I hate as well, being young, is that figuring out where you want to be. I wish I took a gap year. Like, I wish when COVID hit, I decided to peace out a lot sooner, deferred a year. But no, because I was just like, at that time I was like 23, and I was just like, I can't be doing this, I'll be old. But
I think someone had told me that deferring couldn't happen, and it just could. Like, I can't remember who told me that, but someone told me that deferring wasn't an option. And it's like, I should have just looked into it myself instead of taking that at face value.
But I think it's so more complicated. So when you look at friends, you're like, oh, they all live together near each other. And it's like, oh, you wish you had that. But then you realise you're far apart. And like we said, we're quite close. Well, close to each other.
Yeah.
We're not in different counties, and I think there's people who left where our uni was. You don't keep in contact with them.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just looking at a lot of us did stay where we were. But then again, I think what I'm scared about is that expectation is you should have been in your career job right now. Like, you should be like 23 going up in a career. I was like, yeah, but I don't know what career. And like I said, it's the location as well that got me dirty because I'm at the Midlands, right? And then it's just like, where are the creative people at?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder
exactly.
if the Max picked that up.
I don't know, but
Oh, there's a crashing race happening outside this house.
and the thing is, we put pressure on ourselves. So expectation is, oh, we should have got a career, but reality is, shit takes time in a creative industry.
I definitely, not just that, just in general.
Yeah.
I definitely thought I'd be further ahead than I am now,
Same.
which is so like crazy because I'm far, but I'm not far in life. Like,
I say that to you all the time, and then you start speed rolling shit that I've forgotten. I'm just like, okay, but
like you as well. Like, you always go, oh, I've not done anything with my life, and I'm like, well, you have. You've done this, 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 and this.
But I think for me, it's just like I'm making consistent moolah. But then I'm like, did I really care about that? Was that in my values, or am I trying to? I think for me, seeing other people in a place in life where they're ready to settle down, I'm like, I'm gonna get started. Like, that's why I'm like happy living at home. But again, it's society's pressure more than anything. Like, if it wasn't society, I'd be living with my mum, or well, I'd be living with her till I get married, you know, or forever. Like, because. And it was a whole COVID thing where people in their 40s had to go back home and just to save money. And then
I work with someone who's 29, 30, and she literally moved out with her partner for like 5 years. Her partner just broke up with her out of the blue and she couldn't afford to live on her own. So even though she's not been living with her parents for like 10 years, she had to move back and she hates it. But it's like a natural part of life. Like, it happens to people. It's not your fault if it does.
And I think that's why you should just go with the flow. As long as you're trying to make your dreams achievable and that. As long as you're happy with where you want to be. And it's okay to have a side quest. You've got your main quest here, which for us is for me is a creative career. And I'm branching off, like, I do a side quest here, a side quest there, but I know the road to it is possible. But, like, I know it's going to take me time, so, yeah. And I think movies and TV shows glamorize it to a point where you feel so shit that
your life isn't going like that fairy tale movie.
And I think you just got to realise you're going to learn shit, you're going to fail quick, fail fast, and learn from it. Because like a few episodes ago, we were talking about failure, and I think that's a good way to approach your adult life. You're going to fail, but fail fast and learn from the people before you. If you have a good mentoring system, if you have people who've been there, done that, pick their brains, because the best thing is to learn from other people's mistakes than making the same mistake. And I think,
definitely,
yeah, and YOLO, like, whatever happens, isn't it? You just got to be brave about it, because nobody's going to give you the answers. And like I said a couple of episodes ago, like, the 20s is the first time you have no guidebook. Nobody to tell you you've got your education, and out of education, you're like, fuck. There's no rule book.
Yeah, there's no rule book. You're out here on your own unless
like,
you've got a good support
system. And I go back to the whole comparison from last episode. It's just like, me and Tia might be on the same path, but she might be ahead of me, and I'm taking a detour, but there's a way for me to get there. So it's like, just imagine you're on a side quest. You've got the main road, but you're working in TK Maxx for a couple of years because you need the money then to go back. And I think as long as you know where your priorities are, and we've got a lot of videos about purpose and rejection and stuff, it's worth
maybe you could rewatch season 1 whilst you're waiting for season 3, you know?
Mm-hmm. We should make an adulthood playlist with all the episodes we think will be beneficial, because we got bangers after goes.
No.
But yeah, I think...
This is the last episode of the season. I've just realised.
What?
Yeah, this is the last episode of season 2.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god. Well, yeah.
Oh, whoa.
So you got to binge watch the last 2 seasons while you're waiting for season 3,
Wow, this is
guys.
madness. We decided to go deep in. So it's going to be battling off all these episodes. Just go back, and I think we're here to be your guide. We're all
Kind of. There's only so much we can guide you on.
Do what we say, not what we do, or just...
Well, you don't have to do as I say, but if it goes wrong, I did warn you.
We're not responsible, watch those ads
We cannot be held responsible for anything that may happen due to the advice that we give you and you take.
But I think, YOLO, fuck it, do it, because the worst thing is letting failure lead you.
Yeah. And honestly, being an adult can suck, but you can also make it amazing. So
you can
live
have
your
ice
best
cream
adult-
any time of the day. Winter, summer, autumn, spring. YOLO, have that ice cream.
You can just eat a whole pizza to yourself. Eat a birthday cake.
Wow.
On that bombshell, this is the end of this episode, the end of this season, which is crazy.
See you on the flip side for season 3.
Season 3, let's go.
Let's go, boy.
Bye.
Bye. We're coming to the end of the episode. Thank you for listening. Like we say, work hard, but dream even harder.